Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Houston Oilers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. A spin. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here we go now.
On second down, Darnold. Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's a second and 5 now from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle. And a look now at how the Jets line up defensively.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, He diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
It's a quarterback sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Point after here coming up. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing here on third down. Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
This is brought in at the 21. For a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Houston. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he coughed it up. But thankfully, this is corralled by the offense, so they will, in fact, hold on to the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
Now let's go. Green.
Here's Sanders on first down. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now second down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a wall.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. All right, got at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now Sanders looking to throw on second down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Big yardage that time for the Jets. 43 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line. In pregame, get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Darnold from the red zone now. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Darnold. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Darnold. And he's got his target. That's more. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing again is Darnold. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And almost intercepted. If he could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's been effective in their winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent. And, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too.
Yeah, you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that synergy. Everything working together really well. And right now, he's the focal point of it.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
Good!
Sanders throwing on 1st down. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
All right, here we go.
To throw again. Sanders. It's complete to Brown, right side. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And Suckup will put this one right through. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. The Lions still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's get to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. 2 touchdown passes there for Mitchell Trubisky. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And as you see, they were winners in their ball game. Alvin Kamara leading the way with 77 yards rushing. In our game, it was Sam Darnold who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. We will see here that he's done quite a bit, but the bottom line, I guess, partner, it hasn't been enough right now.
And let's face it, everyone wants to be in a spotlight, but when you're not winning, that's not quite as much fun because that's the bottom line, especially if you're a quarterback. Did you lead your team to a victory? No matter how many passes you threw, completed, all of that, that's what he wants to get done.
So far, he does at least have some good highlights to take home with him. To throw is Sanders. On 1st and 10. And going deep for Hill. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long. And they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we got this guy right where we want him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. C.J. Mosley with a big-time sack on 3rd down. They go play action here on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 2nd down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Sanders. The linebacker C.J. Mosley there in coverage. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll run it here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
Now Darnold. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Suckup will put this one right through, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now out comes Houston. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it...
And that's caught inside the 30. And DP goes into Jets territory before being taken down. A huge play there for Houston. 56 yards.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
He'll look to throw. Shakes off the... And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Jets, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.